It's been quite a long time since my last activity concerning this project. The reasons for this long break were some tragical events in my family. My father died, my wife suffered from acute lymphomatic leukemia. It's a cancer of the blood, which hadn't been discovered so far and attacked on her life. And it attacked that fast and that strong that the specialists in hospital told me to be prepared to lose her, which I thank God not happened. In the end, she's far from being okay, but she's out of the danger zone and recovering now. Well, time to turn to happier things, to my modular synth do-it-yourself project now. I've decided to put the clock divider module aside for a while and continue the project with a buffered multiple. The reasons? Well, I've some patch ideas with the few modules which I already have, plus the neutron, and I need to multiply signals more often than the neutron's patch bay allows. And the second reason is that I want my brain to get attached to the project again, and to get used to develop a module and so on, and after such a long time, and a simple and easy module like a buffered multiple seems a good way to me to achieve that. Well, let's go for it then. The multiple shall be equipped with an attenuator, one attenuator at each output. I've got the needed potentiometers already, so I don't need to buy them. Not so the knobs. And as I'm even shorter of money than I was 5 months ago, being ill costs a lot of money here, I decided to make the potentiometer knobs on my own and not to buy them. I disassembled an old broken armchair last year and stored the wooden parts because they were made from an extremely hard and strong kind of wood. Let me try to use this material for making the needed knobs. I'm going to start the project with producing potentiometer knobs, therefore. So, this is one of the remnants of the armchair, and I'm going to cut pieces of this piece, and I'm going to use these rounded edges for the potentiometer knobs, these potentiometers here. Well, I'm going to drill holes in it, and I'm going to fix these potentiometers by small screws here. I hope you see it. I'll make a photo from him, and drill the screws here into the side. Okay, well, let's go for it. Well, and these are the pieces I've cut off, and I have to cut them this way now to get two knobs from each of these pieces. And here they are at last. Now for the drilling, here and here for the small screw. Yes. I have to find the right size of the drill fitting to the axis here of the potentiometers, but at first I use a smaller drill because the wood is that hard that it would be better to start with a smaller drill and then to increase the diameter of the hole. Well, and here they are, the 4 knobs for each for one of the attenuators of the multiple, the buffered multiple. Now for the holes for the fixing screw, and I think I'll put it about here, about 8 millimeters away from the lower border. Well, I'm going to make a groove here, in here, so that it's easier to adjust a certain value later on. So here, here. And of course, I'm going to give these knobs a little bit of color later, and the groove will get a different one. I think the knobs are going to be black. Yeah, they will be black. And the nut white. Well, let's see. So now that I have the size of the knobs, I can go for the layout of the front panel. So let me make a draft then before I put it into the computer. All right. So the color is not important here because it won't be seen. Yeah, let's put the tripod aside. So the height is clear. Well, it's according to Eurorec format. So let me kind of that. I just need the rough size. I will adjust it in the computer exactly later. Is it? Yeah, that's okay. So let's say here we have the input in the center somewhere, not too near to the border, let's say there. And then for outputs, like the jacks can be nearer to the input jack, a little bit nearer. Well, I've space enough in my self-made case, so it's not that important how wide the unit is going to be, but I don't want to make it too big. So let's say this kind of. Oh yeah, I see. It's impossible. The knobs are too the knobs are too big for being put in a vertical line. So the other way around. Horizontal, buck, well, kind of that. Oh yeah, it's going to be a real big module for such a simple function. But okay, no, I don't mind. So let me put it here, here, okay, here, And here we are, some kind of that. So I need 18 centimeters. 18 centimeters. All right. Yeah. Okay, 18 centimeters width. Yeah, kind of. Should I put some diodes in? No, it's not necessary. I can see whether something is plugged in or not. All right. Yeah. Okay, let's make a huge let me call it 4-channel, multiple buffered, multiple then. Well, 18 centimeters. Oh yeah. I should think of another way of making knobs, but well, it's an experiment, and it's an experience anyway, and they are functional. Good. Let's go and bring the layout to the computer and then print it out and make the front panel. I've made a mistake mechanically. The diameter of the external screw thread here, the lower part, of 2 of the 410 kilo ohm potentiometers, this is one of them, is smaller than that of the other two, of these two. And it's shorter as well. This part here, where I can screw something, is shorter as well. And in simple words, 2 of the holes in the front panel are too large, and the screw thread of these potentiometers here, they are too short to reach through the front panel material, and so I cannot fix them with a nut. That's life. I've only got 25 kilo ohm linear potentiometers, which fit mechanically, and I've used 2 of them here. Okay, and I hope it will influence only the resolution of the channels, well, of the attenuator potentiometers, to be precise, only the solution and not the general working of the unit. We will see, maybe interesting even. Oh, and yes, I admit there are things in this world which are more beautiful than this front panel. Well, but the only thing that's really important at the end of the day is if the module works. And it's quite nicely to handle, a good feeling. Well, okay, we will see. Even if this is not at all a tutorial, but a simple diary, let me talk a little bit about the electronics of multiples while I'm soldering the strip board here. I wanted to know in what buffered multiples differ from unbuffered ones and how they work, of course. And well, I've learned that the buffered ones take care that the level of the signal, the outputs, is indeed the same as the signal's level at the input, independent from which and how many modules I feed from the outputs. With unbuffered multiples, it can come to a decrease of the voltage level, meaning the certain voltage, for example, that I feed in the multiples input, and that is meant to make a VCO generate the note, let's say C sharp, may leave the multiples output at a reduced level, which may probably make the VCOs, which are plugged to the multiples outputs, generate only a C instead of the wanted C sharp. I've found that these unbuffered multiples are also called passive multiples sometimes. So how do buffered multiples, how do they do their job? Well, according to what I've learned in the last days, they use so-called operational amplifiers, OPs, and these ICs have 2 inputs and 1 output. The OP always tries to have the same voltage at its 2 inputs, and therefore in buffered multiples the output is fed back to one of the inputs, and the signal which I want to multiply is fed in the other input. And if the output level goes down, because I have, for example, connected too many or too demanding modules to the outputs of my multiple unit, this decrease of voltage reaches also the second input, the input where I have not fed in the signal, but fed back the output. And that makes the operational amplifier increase the voltage at its output, so that both of the OP's inputs are at the same voltage level again. What is the level of my signal, which shall be multiplied equally to all of the outputs of my module. I've gone a bit deeper into the electronics of OPs in between, and I have to say it's a very fascinating matter. But as I said before, this is not an electronic tutorial at all. Time for testing the module. I've patched Neutron's LFO output to its oscillator's input here. Yeah. Keep cool. To modulate the frequency, and we hear the resulting sound and can watch it in the signal analyzer. The frequency goes up to 2000 Hertz to 2 kilohertz. Now I patch the modulating signal from the LFO through my buffered multiple. Multiple in and multiple out to oscillator in. Oops. Something's with the cable. So, all right. This cable is not absolutely okay. Yeah, and we see and we hear that channel 1 at least works. The maximum amount of modulation is the same. It goes up to 2 kilohertz. So let's work with knob a bit. Okay, 0. This channel works. Let me try the next one. Channel 2. Works as well. These were the two channels equipped with 25 kilohertz potentiometers. Okay, now these two ones equipped with 10 kilohertz potentiometers, as previously wanted for all. And works as well. Let me increase the speed of the LFO a bit. far. Yeah. And it's the same. All 4 channels work like a dream, except for the knobs. I have to replace them sometime. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy, really. This module works as it should. And by the way, the resolution, I can't notice any difference in the resolution of these 2 different potentiometers, these 2 25 kilo ohm and these 2 10 kilo ohm potentiometers. I have to learn why there isn't any remarkable, any noticeable difference. Okay, thank you for watching. Enjoy your day. Rolf. One thing. Next time I'm going to build a CV mixer, and after that I start building my first voltage controlled module. Again, enjoy your day. Rolf.